Musicality Mondays, Litty Mondays, Litty Mondays. With Jazicality Mondays, Litty Mondays, Litty Mondays. I know you were looking for something, maybe you'll find it right here, baby. A Make Your Own Trophy Records production.
Everyone, welcome back to Musicality Mondays. I'm your host, Jazicality. Thank you so much for watching on the podcast platforms, or if you're right here on the YouTube channel. Make sure you go check out everything that's going on with us at Jazicality, Musicality Mondays, and Make Your Own Trophy Records. Today, we have a very special guest. He is a multi-instrumentalist, a singer, and he's coming out with a brand new album called April. On April 28th, we have Eli Brunelle. But then, how do you feel? Is it your debut album or?
This is, yeah, debut.
Nice.
First thing. It's really weird because I've kind of been sitting on it for like 4 years now, just like toying around with a bunch of shit and messing around and like trying to make it like each, you get to a point where like I write the song and then we're just gonna get into it.
Sure,
I write the song and then I'll not listen. I'll force myself not to listen to it for like 2 months and just take it off my mind or whatever. And then I'll come back to it and think like objectively what could be better.
Okay.
How could I make it work? And then that whole process for like most of these songs just took 4 years. Like it just took forever to get them to feel like they're the right version of what I wanted it to be.
Okay, yeah. Everything seems like pretty cohesive, so it sounds like it's like you have a sound, you know what I mean? So very good job with that, you know?
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. It took a lot of listening, which I don't think enough people talk about when writing music. Music is like, there's no world in which you can make a great song that isn't inspired by something else in some way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
like you have to have some kind of influence. You have to be able to recognize those influences and point to them. And then also like it just helps you create more things. You're more fluid as a creative if you can listen to other things and be inspired by them.
That's really true. Yeah, I was talking about something like that in another episode that's not out yet, but it will be. And I was just talking about like writer's block and like when you have writer's block, listening to other music gets everything going again.
Yeah, I mean like that's a really good way to do it. And then for me personally, I just take a walk.
Oh, okay.
And I'll like forget about whatever it is that I'm listening to, like refuse to put on any music or anything, and just walk for like an hour. And then come back and see if I have an idea. And usually I'll have an idea or something like that.
That's really good, yeah. So, I know that you did it, but okay.
Okay,
What all did you play in the album? Like, what all instruments?
So, throughout the album, I'm on everything.
Okay.
So, 5 songs are L.A. Buckner on the drums.
Okay.
And then 1 song my dad plays drums on.
Nice.
I have 2 fantastic horn players who I hire out, Jack Wagner and Jake Shockman.
Shout out you guys, all 4 of those guys.
Yep. And then my brother helped kind of produce and do a bunch of shit on the record as well. And then he mixed and mastered it too.
And his name's Max, right?
Yeah. Yep,
okay.
Yep. He's a year and a half older than me or something.
Okay.
Like that. I mean, throughout the album, I'm on kit. I'm on all the guitar, keyboard, and bass is all me.
How did you go about deciding what you wanted to play and what you didn't want to play?
I was putting it together, and the first song, which is already out now, All Night Long, which I released as a single, was I kept tweaking it, and it has like 15 different versions or something like that, and I could never get it to feel right when I recorded it. And so I asked LA if he would be down to play on it, and he said, "Yeah, of course."
That's awesome.
And so he came through, and then as soon as first take finished, we were like, "That's the fucking,
that's the one.
That's it.
That's
how it's
LA Buckner."
Yeah, you just get him he's such a fluid, creative genius, and such a fantastic drummer and person to work with and like mentor, just everything. He's one of the best people that I've ever had the pleasure of working with, and I'm so thankful that I got him to be on this project with me.
Me too, yeah.
He's fucking incredible. He's so good. He's so good. I don't like, there's no other way that I can really describe it. Like, I don't have the right words to like formulate how impactful it was. It made the album, to me at least. It made the album.
Yeah.
So I started playing bass guitar and drums. I had played a bit of piano before I started high school.
Okay.
But like every piano teacher that I've ever had will vouch that I never practiced and that I was terrible. I was probably the worst student that any of them had, just because I don't, for some reason I refused to practice.
I get it. I didn't practice much. It's just hard.
Right.
It's hard to get into the headspace.
But I mean, like, now I do it all the time.
Right.
But for some reason, I was not having it. And then like a month before I started my freshman year of high school, I like decided that I wanted to play bass and drums and guitar.
You just decided.
And I was like, well, fuck it. I thought I was going to go in as a vocalist. Like, genuinely, I thought that I was going to do that. And then I was like, no, actually, I kind of want to play. And so I just started watching hella YouTube videos on how to do music. And I became like a huge nerd about music for like 3 years.
Okay.
And I would just like watch YouTube videos all day about like different musical practices and theory and all that kind of shit. But yeah, and then I've been singing since I was like 6 or something.
Yeah.
I was really obsessed, and personally, I don't think that's a bad thing. I love being obsessed with what I'm doing. And I would hate to be in a position where I'm not obsessed and extremely passionate with whatever it is that I want to do.
Yeah, that makes life better.
Yeah, I mean, like, a lot of people talk, I've been thinking about this a lot, is like a work-life balance. And I've realized that, like, personally, I'm at a point right now where I don't think that I need one.
What?
Because, well, no.
Sorry.
It's just like, I right now, I'm playing for 13 hours a day.
Okay.
Or doing some kind of music-related thing for like 13 hours a day. Every day. And I love it. And I'm not burnt out at all. And I've been doing this for like almost a year at this point.
Okay.
Like, I want to be obsessed with it.
Okay.
If I'm doing something, I want to put my all into it. I want to be as obsessed as possible and as good as possible,
I get that. But I just want future Eli to know that if you ever get burnt out, that's okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure, sure.
Because, like, there can be a time where, you get really excited about something and you're in it and you're just like, I'm never going to get burnt out on it. But if you do, everything's still okay and you're going to get obsessed again. Okay.
Yeah. I think just right now I'm at a point in my life.
Yeah, exactly.
I
go for it.
Put all of it into it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do that shit. But yeah. So what about the lyrics? How do you get into those?
I've had a lot of people ask me this.
Yes.
I wish I had a good answer.
Okay.
And I've thought about a good answer, and like I've tried to, like, in the process of writing a song, I'll be like, how am I figuring out what I want to say next?
Okay.
It's just like you know what I mean? It's like figuring out a puzzle, to me at least.
Yeah.
That's how I think about lyrics, is like, if I want to communicate a message, how am I going to do that? What are the ways that I can craft song structure to make the lyrics work?
So did you get your heart broken, or is this,
not, I have, but it's not like, none of it is like directly correlated to anything that I've written about, honestly.
Okay. So
I mean, like, all of it is just like stuff that I wanted to say, or like, an idea that I had or something like that. Like, a good example is like, I have this song called New Love, and I just, one day, I had the lyric idea, like, I'm looking for a new kind of love. And I was like, oh, I like that idea. And then the rest of the song came in like 5 minutes.
Okay, so
It kind of just like I wish there was a better way to say it, but like it kind of just happens.
So is it kind of like you're like you have an idea and then you're getting other ideas to complement the idea that you had?
Kind of, yeah. That's a good way of explaining it. I think it's really hard. I want to
okay.
give a good answer.
No, it's fine.
To me, I think it just kind of naturally happens as like I'm trying to communicate some idea or some feeling, and it's just like this is the best way that I found to communicate that idea.
Okay. So where'd you get the name for the album?
It felt like the vibe. You know what I mean? Like I heard, I thought I was thinking about the album and I was like, I want these songs to be on it. If I needed a title for it, what would what does it sound like to me? And then the answer that I kept coming back to was April. What? No. Say it. You thought it was a girl?
I thought it was a girl named April, and then I thought, damn, that was a fucked up April. And two, it's like he got a lot of stuff going on. But,
yeah. No, not really. Honestly, it was just like that is what it felt like.
Okay.
It felt like if I was gonna describe because April has a feeling.
It does. I mean,
I feel like every month has some kind of feeling or connotation behind it. You know what I mean?
Like right now, it's like really rainy outside, and
yeah, but it's also beautiful.
Yes.
Like earlier today,
That's
it was
true.
sunny and gorgeous, and there were like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's like it's both, and I felt like the record resonated with that.
I like that. Very good. I love like going off of a feeling. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think that there's any other point. You know what I mean? Like I would rather just name it something that is like that makes sense for exactly what it is.
It's a good name because people will wonder like, who's this about? You know what I mean?
Yeah. There is not a girl named April.
I don't know if I believe you, dog.
All
I'm
right.
kidding. Because that would be, I don't know, the way that you're answering it is really cool just because, I mean, the fans will be like, he lying, dog. Like.
Right. No.
So that's really good. It's good for marketing and everything. So.
Right, yeah. And me looking like a liar, great for marketing.
No speculation. Me looking like a liar.
Yeah, great
okay.
for marketing. Yep.
That's funny. I don't know.
I mean, I could tell you roughly how long I've been sitting on each one. All Night Long, I think, is the oldest. Originally, it was called Anesthesia. And it was in a completely different key and completely different time signature and was much sadder. And then I just kept rewriting it. So I think that one's like, that is 4 years old. I think that It's All Right is roughly the same amount of time. I think I wrote it in the same time period.
Okay.
And then I wrote a bunch of other shit in that time period that just didn't make it.
You're like, no.
Yeah. Some of
not
it.
right now.
Well, not now.
Right.
At some point, we'll come back to it and see how I feel. Young, Dumb, and Stupid is relatively new. I think I wrote that in 2023. 2023, I wrote that. And I wrote it as a poem.
Okay.
About, like, flowers. And I was like, I like this flower poem. Let's make it a song. That was, like, that's the best way that I can put it,
I like that one.
Thank
you.
Good.
Yeah.
Cold Outside, I wrote in that one is about a person for sure.
See, because it was really specific.
It was very specific. Yeah, that one is about someone. And I'm not gonna say when I wrote that.
Don't worry about it. That's up for speculation.
Right. No. Do You Wrong was originally just a beat.
Oh, cool.
It was just, and then I was like, oh, I really like this, and I think I could make something really cool out of it.
Okay.
And that's another one that took forever to figure out, because I didn't know what I wanted to say, and then I was in studio. Like, I had written most of it, and then I was in studio with my vocal engineer, Quinn Jennings. Shout out, Quinn.
Shout out.
I think, but yeah, he did all the vocal engineering for the record, and so just said like, yeah, imagine. Sorry,
I'm scared
it's
now.
not kosher. But he was like, imagine a song that you could play in the car with a person, just like casually, and they don't realize like what the lyrics are about. You know what I mean? Like, it's just good vibes, and people don't realize what it's about. And so I was like, oh, that's a good vibe. Let's like see if I could do something with that. And so that's what I came up with.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm thinking back to what
Right. Yeah. And then Love on Your Mind, that's another one that's about a person in a less direct way.
Oh, okay.
I wrote that like 2 years ago or something like that. I wrote Do You Wrong, I think, last summer-ish. So like, yeah, sometime 2024. Beautiful So Badly. I just loved that lyric. And it like came to me one day. And I was like, beautiful so badly. I don't know what it means. And I wrote that in like 2022 is when that like ended up. I have a little journal of like all lyrics that I come up with. And it's like just sat there forever. And then I had this thing with the bass and I was like, dun, 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 and I was like, oh, that's super cool. And then I looked back in the journal and I was like, oh, that could fit with this.
Okay.
And then it just kind of happened. I think that's everything. I think that's all of them.
I think so. You just went straight into it, so I was like, wait.
Yeah.
So that was good.
Sick.
Nice. Good job. Is this your show on April 30th?
Yes.
That's why I'm confused.
Yeah.
Eli has a show at Green Room on April 30th with Lasalle. Help me.
Hindsight, DJ Lemony, and 0308, which is a new project from the homie David Smith.
Yes.
He plays keys for LA, and that shit is going to be so dope. I'm so hyped for that show.
Me too. David was on the show a couple.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was a couple episodes back. So.
Oh, I love David. David's such a good dude.
He's so great, and he's really funny.
Yeah.
But you would think he's so quiet. We talked about that on the show.
Yeah, he's such a good dude. I love him. I love hanging with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great.
Good. I'm glad that you're getting gigs around town. I've heard about you for a couple of years now. You know what I mean?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You're like.
No, I didn't know.
I'm kidding. No, yeah, I think
LA said the same thing about me too. LA was like, we so like briefly met and then just like no contact for like 2 years, and then I started doing some stuff, and he was like, "Yeah, I've been hearing your name for years." And I don't know what that like. That's not real. That shouldn't be happening.
Real, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you would, I don't know, you'd play shows or something, and I'd see a flyer, and I'm like, I know that.
Right.
Like, I just met him. So that's really cool. You've always been very gifted. So good on you, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. Just like, okay, killing the game. Let's go.
Yeah, we're gonna make it happen. I think it just takes forever, and I'm so particular. That's another thing. Like, I don't think it's reflected. I mean, maybe it is reflected in the album how particular I am. LA can attest to this too. That like there are so many actually anyone who worked on the album can attest to this. So many takes for everything. I think each guitar solo was a minimum of 300
takes.
Yeah. I can tell you that the piano solo on Young, Dumb, and Stupid was like 650 or something like that.
It sounds really clean, so all those takes, they really paid off. So.
Yeah, I'm such a perfectionist about everything, and I don't ever want to put something out if I'm not like 150% sure of it. You know what I mean? So it just takes forever for me to want to put anything out, which is like a flaw, but also great because it means that I can spend my time like just crafting the right thing instead of having to like go back and be like, oh, I don't love that about that. You know what I mean? I want it to be like the right version at the right time. And I've regretted not doing that in the past. So for this, it's like I'm just going to take my time and make sure that it's as good as it can be.
Absolutely. That's really good. So, how has life been as a brand new adult?
Not really that different. I'll be
Really?
honest with you.
That makes
I mean,
sense.
nothing really changes. You know, I'm still just doing the same stuff that I've always been doing. Yeah, not really. No
It's kind of
difference.
good. You know,
Yeah.
it would be terrible if life was just like
Just
you know what I mean?
terrible immediately.
Yeah.
No, I've heard stories about that. I've had a bunch
Yeah.
of friends that are like, yeah, life just got way worse the day I turned 18. And I was
Really?
like, fuck. That sucks.
No.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I'm sorry. I don't exactly
not-
remember, but well, I moved away from home, so it was like a little different. It's kind of like a culture shock, but
Yeah.
But did you grow up here?
I did. Yes. Minneapolis, born and raised.
But are you having fun?
Oh, I love every minute.
Good. Okay.
I'm super passionate. This is going to get deep now.
Oh.
I had like a personal I had a sit down conversation with myself. Just like
I
one-on-one.
love those.
And
do
I
that
was
too.
like a year ago, and it was like, what do I actually want to be? Like, if I could be anything in life, what do I want to be? Not now, like forever. You know what I mean? Like, what is it that I want to do? What do I want to achieve in my life? And that talk, this is gonna sound really dumb.
Oh.
That talk, it was just like, I want to be great at whatever it is that I want to do, and I want to be great at music. And those are like both. And then I kept talking to myself, and I was like, those are the same things. So I just want to be great. That's it. I mean,
get
and
that.
that's like the priority right now and forever, is like, that's what I want to strive towards. And so I'm trying to make sure that I take all the steps that I can to be there and like put in the work and make sure that it really does happen.
There you go. You know? And yeah, you're doing great things, so
Thank you. Yeah.
things are going well, you know? So, very
Thank you.
good. Yeah. Do you have more shows coming up?
No, I'm way too particular to book anything. So
What do you
I
mean?
I book 2 or 3 shows a year total. And so if people don't come to a show, they don't know when they're going to see me next. And I
Okay.
like it that way,
Why?
because people are much less likely to miss shows if they don't know that I have another one.
That's true.
So I don't have anything set up. Maybe we'll get something set up. I doubt it. I'm really just trying to make sure that there's like, I want every show to be as cool and dope and have some interesting thing as possible. And to me, I can't do that if I book like 50 of them.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
at a certain point, you're just doing the same set over and over again. Or like the alterations that you're making aren't interesting enough from an audience perspective. No diss to anyone.
No, I know,
There are people that like, if you're making great music, you know what I mean? People will come see it regardless. Personally,
Yeah, same.
I'm just too much of a perfectionist, and I hate being stagnant in anything. So I don't want to do the same songs in the same order. I want each show to be as different and interesting as possible. You know what I mean?
So, like, do you mean changing the order of the songs, or would you want to wait until you have new songs that next year that you play after the second show that you play?
I'll play this album release show, and then I'll probably play like 3 songs from the album at every show, and then after, other than that, we're just not gonna play them, and we're gonna like.
I mean, do you have a band behind you?
I do, yeah. I've got. It's actually the band is crazy. The lineup is super dope. I've got Logan Flores is my MD and kind of helping me co-band direct the whole project. And I'm going to forget everyone else's last names right now. I know everyone's first name, and I'm so bad with last names. Hold
Do you
on.
need your...
I do need my phone. We got Caleb Treadway on the drums. Fantastic drummer.
Wow.
Gavin Taylor on bass.
Oh my god, he plays with other...
Yeah,
Wait,
no, I know.
Gavin, big hair Gavin?
Yeah, Gavin.
Yeah, he plays with...
Yeah, Gavin plays with everyone.
That's crazy.
He's super dope though, and he's so fun
he's
to
great.
work with. I love working with him. I got Jack Wagner on trumpet,
Okay.
Jake Shockman on alto.
Wait, what do you mean alto?
Alto saxophone.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Jonah Walt on tenor sax.
You're like, do you know?
Tamsin Stockman on backup vocals, and Rosie Castano on backup vocals as well.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. So we got. Yeah, I'm great with first and last names. I have to memorize those in like a week.
Oh yeah, you're gonna be on stage like,
yeah,
oh
like
shit.
what's your last name?
Jazz, could you like have some cue cards? Got you, bro.
I don't know how. I saw Stevie Wonder a few months ago.
Okay.
And he changes string sections every night, right?
What do you mean, like different
He
people?
hires out a new. He hires out a
That's
local
great.
string section.
I love that.
So every night it's live strings, but he hires out a different one, and every night, because he can't read cue cards. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
every
that's
night
so
he
funny.
reads everyone's first and last name in his entire band. Entire band plus all the people that are like helping make it happen reads
I
all
love
like
that for
says
him.
all their names out on stage. I don't know how.
Why would he do that?
You
to
know what I
himself?
mean? Like that's
You know what I think happened? Somebody's talking to him.
I think you're probably right because
There
I
ain't
could
no
not
way.
remember.
Ain't no
I
way.
can't remember that many people. I can't remember like half the people I meet once. You know what I mean? Like I'll
Yeah,
meet someone
yeah.
one time and it's like I can't
like,
do
what
it.
was
I'm
your
so
name
sorry.
again?
Yeah, right. And then I feel like such an asshole because they definitely did. Like we had a 30-minute conversation,
I know.
and your name
it's so
was just not
bad.
part of that conversation.
Because if you like look me in my eye and you told me your name, I'm so focused on not wanting to flinch though. I can't remember your name.
I'm just
I'm
so
like-
bad at it. I'm like, I'll say like, hey, what's your name? Hi, and then I'll like say like, hey, nice to meet you, whatever your name is, and then I will completely forget it, and I feel like such an asshole every time because I'll meet someone like 5 or 6 times before I actually like remember
And
their
I
name.
think that's normal actually because it depends on how many people you see every single like day or every time you go out.
Yeah.
You know what I do?
What?
And I'm sorry if anybody sees this. I don't care. It's fine. I'll be like, it's nice to see you again. If I'm not sure, I'll be like, it's nice to see you again, and the name never comes up.
That's such a good way to do it.
I have to start doing that. I'm like,
Yep,
I'm
yep.
terrible.
Problem
And then I'll
is,
Instagram them later.
you try and get their attention in public, and you don't remember their name, then you're like fucked.
What? Wait.
If you don't know someone's name and you're
Yeah.
like trying to get them to like, you know what I mean? Like you gotta say something to them. That happens with me and sound people all the time. It'll be like, oh shit, yeah, I
You don't
I
remember?
don't know this person's
That's
name.
my worst fear. If I'm gonna remember your name, you're a sound person. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. No, I've done that before. I've
It
done that at like
sucks.
big shows where it's
Ugh.
like I don't remember what the sound person's name is.
It's
I
okay
know-
to ask again, though. I
I
mean,
know all the green room people. I know
mean,
all
just
their
they're
first and
there all
last
the
names.
time.
Yeah. I'm there
Oh my
all
God,
the
I love
I'm
them.
like there like 3 times a week.
Oh, that's nice. Yes. Wait.
Cassidy?
What's...
Sound
Yes, I
person?
love Cassidy.
Yeah,
yes.
Cassidy's great. I mean, he did sound at the last show that we played, the single release.
Oh, that's right. Wait. And what was the name of that single again?
Love on Your
I
Mind.
didn't- It was like Pink, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw that.
Pink Little Valentine's Day show. We got Vinnie Franco on that bill. That was cute. We did like it was just a love themed, Rosie was on it too.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a beautiful night. It was really fun. Yeah.
So, how'd you go about getting Rosie and your background singers?
How'd I go about getting background singers?
Yeah, how'd you go about asking? Like, how'd you go about getting this band together, Eli?
When I was thinking about what I wanted to make a great show at like any show, I was like, what have I seen live bands do that I really, really liked? And
That's
it was
good.
like, I want a big ass band. Because
Yeah.
every time that I see someone and I'm like, holy shit, that was super cool. It was like, like Stevie with a 30-piece
Yeah.
band. You know what I mean? That's crazy.
That's crazy.
You can't do that at local shows, or it's really hard to make that happen at local shows.
30 people? Hell yeah.
Yeah, so it was like, what's the most that I can do? In my perfect world, it's a 10-person band.
Okay.
It's 3 horns, guitar and keys, which Logan switches back and forth in between. I play guitar and keys.
Yeah.
2 backup singers, and drums, percussion, and there's one more that I'm forgetting about. Fuck.
Bass?
Yeah, that.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
I did it.
I'm a bass player. I should know. But yeah, so it's like, what's the most I can do? I think this one's only a 9-piece. we're lacking right now. It's pretty sad.
One person's missing. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I mean, it was mostly just like calling people and being like, hey, would you be down to do this? And usually people are very responsive to like, yeah, I want to, be a part of this or something, especially if I'm like, good friends with the person. Like I've worked with Rosie for probably 3 years at this point. I think we've done a bunch of shit together. And yeah, it's just like asking. I feel like that's most of it.
I love that.
I feel like a lot of people are very afraid of asking for things.
I was. That's why I started this show, actually.
Yeah?
And then Eli Iwata was on the show as my first guest.
Yeah.
And he was just like telling me all the things that he was doing. And that's really the message. Just ask.
Yeah.
Know? And I
no,
love that.
that's the best thing that you can do as a musician or just a person in life is like, what the fuck is going to happen if you ask?
You'll say no. Me fearing.
Yeah. Who cares?
Me?
You know what I mean? That's that's what I've realized. I was the same way too, for sure. And I'm still like, there's definitely a part of me that's like, I am still afraid of like, oh, what if they, what if they get mad at me for asking or something like that? What if they, what if something else happens? But at the same time, fuck it, we ball.
Fuck it,
you know
we
what
ball.
I'm saying? Exactly. That's where I'm at personally. Fuck it, we ball.
I mean, that's so true. And look how far you get when you ask, you know?
Just
You're
ask
doing some
people.
crazy things.
Like, that's how I got LA on the album. It was like, hey, would you be down? And he was
He's
like,
like,
yeah, sure. Sure. It's just ask people. People
That's
are
true.
so much more open and understanding than I think a lot of people give everyone else credit for.
It's so true. And once I realized that, I'm just like, what was I doing all this time?
Right? Because you also think about it, like, from my perspective, when have I ever been offended that someone's asked me something?
How
Never.
offended have you? Okay.
Never. It's never, you know what I mean? Like, it's never a thing of like, oh, why did you ask me that? Like, I don't care.
Oh, why did you ask me that? I'm sorry.
I've never done that. I don't know if you've ever done that.
No, I don't think so. Unless they ask me why it smells strange. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, that's a different kind of.
That's
true.
A different
It's just
like
ask.
a backhanded ask. Like, get away from me.
Right. No, that's an asshole move right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, just ask people shit and fuck it. If they don't want to, you know what I mean? Like,
You know what I mean?
their loss.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm of the mindset now where like I'm going to be successful. I know that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so if someone else is going to do some dumb shit or like, if I ask for something and it's like a reasonable thing or something like that and someone responds and like being a dick, then it's like, well, fuck you. I'm going to be successful regardless of whether you do this thing.
Yeah. I mean, what are some other things that people can look out for if so you still got me on that 1 show to 2 shows a year. So what else can people expect from you if you're not playing shows?
They'll
You know what I
hear
mean? What?
They'll hear it.
What, the album?
No, they'll figure it out.
Oh, okay. So you don't want to tell anybody anything
Nope.
that you're...
I mean, I'm very private about this too.
Oh, okay. I can respect that. Yeah, no worries. Yeah.
Not to, I don't,
No.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a very, like, I'm not going to announce anything
Okay.
unless I am 100% sure of whatever it is that I have going on. And right now, I'm 100% sure that the album comes out on April 28th, and I'm 100% sure that I'm going to be at Green Room on April 30th. And after that, y'all will hear about it when it happens.
Do you have any worries about streams or anything like that?
I don't care.
Okay.
I don't make music for anyone besides myself.
Okay. That's good to know.
I would rather, like, none of the things that I'm making are things that I wouldn't listen to 1 billion times myself.
Literally. All the takes you did in a row.
Right. No, I know.
Like,
That's
you know
exactly.
what?
That's why. Because I want to be able to play it back over and over and over and over again, and I can't do that unless it's perfect. Because I'm not gonna love it if I'm not gonna listen to it that many times if it's not perfect. And then also, like, I make stuff whenever I do make something, it's 100% me.
Okay.
Whatever it is that I make is 100% myself. At least for my music, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it is just 100% authentically, this is who I am. And so it's very easy for me to listen to it a billion times, you know, and I want to be able to do that with anything that I make. I'll pull up the shitty acoustic demos that I have that I recorded on my iPhone where I'm singing completely out of tune. I recorded them at like 3:45 in the morning, and I'll pull that up. I'll pull that up on the car by myself, and I'll listen to that.
By myself.
Because I love it. I think it's great. I'm not going to make anything that I don't want to listen to, like, casually, you know?
Okay. That's good to know. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of deep dive into, like, your mind process and everything. So that's good.
Thank you.
That's
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah.
You know? You're like, you'll hear about it.
If you're supposed to hear about it, you'll hear about it. Peace.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. I want, you know, I
No, I
want
get
to
that.
I pop up in and out. That's it. Like, I'm just around. I'm, you know, I don't want to be like you know, I feel like there are some artists that are like, I want to be like consistently, you hear about me every day.
Oh, sure.
Or something
Okay.
like that. Fuck that. Y'all will hear about me for like maybe 2 months out of the year, and then I'm just going to disappear, and I'll come back whenever I have something that I'm sure of.
He do be disappearing and coming back.
Right. Yeah.
Because,
No.
like, I heard about your show, and then I'm like, and then you went away, and then you came back. And I was
Exactly.
like, what the fuck?
No, that's exactly how it.
And when you said that, I was like, really?
Yep. Yeah.
Not
yeah,
it being intentional.
No, it's 100% intentional.
That's crazy.
I don't want to say anything unless I'm 1,000% sure of it. You know, like, I don't know when y'all are gonna see me again. I'm not gonna make
you
any.
shouldn't
I'm not
stress
gonna
about
make
it.
any promises to anyone that I can't keep. And I don't know if, like, oh yeah, maybe I'll do something this summer. Then I don't do something this summer.
Yeah.
What happened to you doing something this summer? Fuck that.
Who's in your ear? Like, they're just
Me.
like, I thought you were.
Me.
That's crazy.
I'm in my own ear.
I'm my worst word. I mean, my own worst enemy.
I really am. At
I
least for my
understand.
music, it's like I'm just gonna force myself to do this a billion times until it's perfect.
Yep.
Yeah.
I get it. Because, I don't know. I used to do that. I don't know. It's gotten different over the years. But
How's it gotten different?
Oh, okay. Oh, question. Okay.
Yeah.
For me, I don't know. I think I used to do things over and over again to the point where my ears hurt. But then I started changing it. So it slimmed down a little bit. So instead of like 50 tries, like I'd be like 3 tries, you know? And I'm just like, I'm good with that. And that's more for harmonies and stuff. So like just really fine tuning those backgrounds and not worrying so much about the leads until the very end. Yeah, it's me with vocals.
That's fair. No, that's super fair. I wish I was like that. You know,
Maybe one day.
You know how much
You know what?
faster I would be able to get shit done if I was like that.
Oh, this is an interesting question.
Yeah.
Do you think if you got things done in a shorter time that you would like want to do more shows? Do you think that has anything to do with each other?
No. I think I would still
Sorry.
do the same amount of shit. I mean,
Okay.
like, I look at it like touring artists. You know what
Okay.
I mean? If you're a touring artist, you're in a town for one night
Yeah.
a year.
A year.
Maybe
ooh, I like
maybe 2 nights. If
I
you're
like
like
that.
Taylor Swift and you're some crazy
She's
big level
crazy.
where you need to have that much. You know
4
what I mean?
hours for a show? Damn.
Right. But I look at it like that, you know.
That's a
if
good way
I
to look at
wanna,
it.
if I want to pop up and, you know, I'm just gonna pop up, say what's up, give you my piece, and disappear. I don't like. You don't need to know that much about me for me to do that. You know what? Like that. No, I mean, like, honestly, you really don't. You know.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to be this huge like spotlight in every
Okay.
place that I show up. It's like I'll show up, I'll do my shit, and then I'll peace out. And if I don't have anything to say, then what the fuck is the point in saying anything? You know?
Yeah. Very interesting. I like that. Okay. Well, do you have anything that you'd want to share with the audience before we go?
Album comes out. On,
I'm sorry. Hang on. I'm sorry.
album comes out on April 28th.
Why are you whispering like that? Like, the whole time.
The show is on April 30th. And listen to the album. Come to the show. Please come to the show.
What time is it at?
The show start 6:30 p.m. Be there at 6:30 p.m. For DJ Lemony.
Yeah.
And then I think first music hits at what time?
Like 7:30?
Yeah,
Okay.
that time.
Yeah, and show up for the DJ. Not enough people show up for the DJ, and I don't like that.
No, and guess what? Fucking live DJ, number one.
Right.
And also vinyl. He's doing vinyl for the show.
He's
bringing real vinyl records to the show. So like it's a performance. It's not just like a DJ set. It's dope out. We're doing dope shit.
Wait. Yeah. Yeah, be there for the DJ. Like, okay, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Be there. It'll be super fun.
Dance all night long.
Exactly.
From beginning to end.
Long ass night of dancing.
Yeah.
That's like a 4.5 hour dance night.
You can do it for Taylor Swift. You can do it for this show.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Oh my god, but yeah, anything else?
No. Do you have anything
Whispering
else?
and shit.
Sorry, my bad.
No, I'm kidding. No. Yeah, make sure you go follow Eli at Eli.Brunelle. Is that what it is on?
Eli Brunelle on Instagram.
Is it Eli Brunelle
Google
with
me.
no? Google Eli Brunelle and show up on his Instagram. Okay. All right. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you in the next video.
Peace.
Musicality Mondays, Liddy Mondays, Liddy Mondays. With Jazicality Mondays.